All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, Adam RL. Today, we're kind of taking a leap back to the origins of Adam RL. Today, we're ranking the Rocket League battle car vehicles. We're going to be ranking them based off of performance, based off of which ones are just better looking, and based off of personal preference, really. Really, that's what it's going to mainly boil down to. So, without further ado, let's really just hop right on into it. So, I've been playing Rocket League for years now. I think since about 2015, give or take. I started on PlayStation. I eventually moved on to the computer, the PC. And over the years, I've managed to hit Grand Champion. I'd like to say that I'm pretty familiar with Rocket League. I would like to say that I've used a lot of the cars. Just on PlayStation alone, I have over 4,000 hours. I have like 6,000 games played just on PlayStation. We all know how this is going to start out. And it may be a bit controversial. But the Octane's obviously S tier. People have used it for such a long time now. Everybody's very familiar with it. It's the car that most represents its hitbox. What that means is its hitbox is within what you see on the screen when you play the game. It's very, very close to where the hitbox actually is. So that's why this car is very popular amongst pros. It's popular amongst people who want to be pros. It's popular amongst pretty much everybody. It's the car you start with. This is the base car. It's the best car, period. It's one of the best turning radiuses, one of the best engine noises, hands down. It's really not even a competition. So I figured we'd just get that out of the way right away. Octane, S tier. S tier vehicle. So let's move right along here. We've got the Ice Charger. No, this isn't the Ice Charger, is it? Yeah, this is the Ice Charger. This is a Fast and Furious DLC car. It's pretty good. I think it had a Dominus hitbox. It had a really shitty turning radius, and it felt very long. Overall, a good car for freestyling, but it's about a C tier car. Then we have the Fast and Furious Nissan Skyline GTR. This is a very good car. A lot of pros actually do use this car. Pros like Sizz, who coached NRG to one of their victories. Their most recent RLCS victory. So, I mean, it's a good car all around. Pretty sure it's just a Dominus hitbox or something of the sort. And performs well, has a good turning radius. There's really not a lot of bad things I can say about the Skyline. It does look sweet too, and it sounds amazing, and it came with some really cool wheels. So all around, it's a really good car. Really good car. I'm gonna have to put it probably A tier. A tier. Moving on, we've got this fucking rat rod thing that I forget the name of. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna forget a lot of these names. This isn't the Ice Charger, by the way, so I take this down a tier. I was wrong. Moving on to this rat thing. So my buddy that I used to live with loved this car. When I first learned about Rocket League, this is the car he used. This is a supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle car. And it's trash. I'm drinking some vanilla Coke today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. On my last tier list, this S tier. So I thought it'd be fitting. And it belongs in F tier. So that's where it'll stay. All right, moving right along, we got the Animus GP. This car sucks. There was nothing good about this car. It never looked good, never sounded good. Nobody really wanted this car. And yeah, there was a lot of hype when it came out, but at the time, Epic Games didn't own Psyonix, so we were hype about anything. You could literally release a Mario and Luigi car and we were hype about it, so yeah, who cares? Who cares? This thing, the Grog. The Grog is shit. It's garbage. Versions of the Vulcan, these are all trash. Nobody uses these. This Hot Rod was one of the worst cars ever. It's a stock car. It's a car you start out with. It's one of the few that you just get right off the rip, basically. And the turning radius is awful. It has one of the smallest hitboxes. It's really hard to get power on anything, but it does look cool. So even though it's one of the worst, it gets D tier because it was alright. It was alright. Batmobile, S tier. Enough said, period. Off-brand Batmobile, A tier because it's ugly. This is what you got when you unlocked all the cars or won like 20 matches with every car on PlayStation. It's the Skull and Bones mobile. It's C tier, whatever. Nobody cares. Here's one of the Hot Wheels DLC cars. This was the Skull Crusher or Bone Crusher or some shit. This car was like kind of broken when it came out, but then they nerfed it or some shit. D tier. Nothing real. Or maybe it wasn't even broken, but everybody made it sound like it was broken. The Breakout. The Breakout's great if you're an air dribbler, so that's a B tier car. Basically, what the Breakout's for is for people who just balance the ball on top of their car for like 6 hours at a time in the air. Yeah, that's what they use. Other than that, it's not that great of a car. The Breakout Type S, worst car in the game. Second worst car in the game. They're so bad, they need a new tier. All of these. They don't deserve F tier. Okay, moving on. Hot Shot. F tier. Literal shit. Okay. This was a Centurion or Centuro or some shit car. Centurio. This was one of the first painted cars along with the Animus. They're kind of like the race car-esque design that they were going for at the time. One obviously is like a F1 car, and the other one is kind of like I forget what that type of car is, but it's like a prototype car. Yeah, both of them suck. This car, no clue what that even is. This car, the Back to the Future car, this was pretty sweet. Hey, what's up, Survivor? How you doing? This was a pretty sweet car. The Back to the Future car, when this came out, it was super hype. Not only did this have a good hitbox, but it had a cool flying animation. It's one of the only cars in the game. I think it may be the only one of yeah, it's one of the only cars in the game. But it is the only car that has an animation when you fly, the wheels fold up into the chassis of the car, making it fully like flat. So that's a really cool design. And it's the only car that does that in the entire game. So just for that alone, it gets B tier. Again, it's more of a freestyler's car. Speaking of which, I want to move these down. These are like freestyler cars. These are, you know, stuff like that. That's kind of where they belong. But yeah, when that came out, when that DLC was there, that was sick. Moving right along, we got the Dystro. The Dystro, there's really nothing special about it. This was after Psyonix was sold to Epic Games. Not a whole lot of love for this car, but not a whole lot of hate. Oh, fuck. Okay, moving on. So next up, we got the Dominus. The Dominus car. The standard Dominus car. This car is awesome. This is one of the best cars in the game, hands down. This is a great car for freestyling. This is a great car for learning how to do aerial control. This is just a great car all around. Has a great turning radius. It is a smaller hitbox. I mean, it is a smaller car, round and round, but it's very flat. It's very nimble, and a lot of people who are starting out in Rocket League like to use this car because since it's so flat and square, it makes a lot of sense when you hit the ball. It helps you to connect kind of the fact that I am a hitbox, that is a ball, trying to hit it in the goal. If I point myself in the right direction, I can do that. So that's a great car for that. It gets A tier. It might be the only one in A tier. All right, moving right along. Dominus GT, solid B tier car. Again, it's kind of like the Dominus. It's the same hitbox, obviously, but the difference with the Dominus GT is visually it kind of fools you. Let me finish my thought before I Google. Essentially, the Dominus hitbox is very close to the actual hitbox. So the style of the car is very close to the hitbox. The Dominus GT is kind of straying away from that since it has kind of that point. A newer player sees that point and they're like, oh, it's pointy. So if I kind of hit it right on the point, it'll go straight. But if I don't, then it won't, right? No, that's not the case. You see all this extra shit? You want to have the least amount of that extra shit possible. Hitbox, Octane. So just to give you an example why a lot of people like the Octane, there's the Octane ZSR, very, very close to representing the hitbox of what it actually is. Where's the Octane? Here's the Octane, very closely representing its actual hitbox. Yeah, so that's why people like to use those cars. It just makes sense. All right, so this car, the Endo. This was a car that I have kind of a nice little story to tell about. So when this car first came out, the titanium white version was going for 50 keys, or 50 US dollars, essentially. That's pretty much what keys translate to. It's like 1.2 US dollars. I had traded a couple of black market decals or some shit for 2 of these. And I ended up trading 2 of these and a bunch of other random shit for titanium white Zombas. And titanium white Zombas at the time were 200 US dollars. $200. So I have a very big soft spot for this car in my heart. I don't like the car. It performs like shit. It turns like shit. It looks like shit. But I did, and it was one of the first painted cars as well. I forgot to mention the Animus GP, the Centurion. These were all like one of the first painted cars. So it was really hyped to get a titanium white one. But it's a D tier car. It's trash. This car, we don't even need to mention. It's literally a glizzy gobbler. This one, good car, but still D tier because it's trash. This car, no idea what this is. The Gizmo, I actually like this car. This is gonna be a triggering moment for a lot of you Rocket League people. The Gizmo's good. Deal with it. It's just a good car. Turns good, flies good. It doesn't look good, but it's kind of goofy to be in a Gizmo. Grog again, it's meh. The Warthog, I've never had this because fuck Xbox gamers. Yikes. Xbox? Ew. Poor people? Imagine being poor. Cringe. Hot shot, trash. If you use a hot shot, I hate you. If you beat me with a hot shot, I'm gonna be pissed. Alright, Ice Charger, Pog, B tier car. Performed really good, looked really good. Those fender flares are sick. Everything. Imperator, it can go D tier, it's fine. The Jaeger's a pretty nice car. It's an off-brand Porsche. It's basically a Porsche Taycan before the Taycan was made. I feel like they actually ripped off the Taycan off of the Rocket League car, because the Taycan, which is the hybrid, or yeah, I think the hybrid Porsche, looks exactly like this, and this was made before the Taycan. So that's pretty cool. So D tier. The Jeep Jurassic Park DLC, this is nothing to me. It's fine. It's a vehicle. Luigi and Mario, I have the Switch version of Rocket League. They're cool cars. I think they're Takumi hitboxes. They're fine. This car is called the Flying Pancake. This is the Mantis. Again, one of the first painted cars. The Mantis was just big and wide and flat. So people liked that. It was pretty cool. It was really cool to see like really bright titanium white wheels on this vehicle because the wheels are really big compared to everything else. Hey, thanks for the follow, Buck D64. Appreciate you, man. Then here we've got the, I forget what this is called. It's like the Mariner or some shit like that. I forget exactly what this is called, but this is a good car. It has the octane hitbox. The turn radius just isn't that great. So I'd put this right in there with the, what the fuck is this called? I don't know what this vehicle's called, but the clown thing that you get after winning with every car. All right, the Masamune. This means nothing to me. It's cool that you can get like kawaii fucking decals and shit on it. All right, moving on. I don't know what this car is. There's 3 versions of it. I think it's the Maverick or some shit. This is the McLaren something. This is definitely a cash grab from Epic Games. Not a huge fan. This means nothing to me. The Merc. The Merc's good. The Merc's getting a new hitbox, everybody. Obviously, if you're watching this video or you're watching this stream, you already know it's getting a new hitbox. Coming this year. That's going to be super hype. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully it's not ruined because I'm actually pretty good with the Merc. Because I'm really good with the Octane, obviously. But obviously the Merc doesn't turn as good as the Octane. But the Merc can look pretty sweet. Like if you get like a titanium white, you can get titanium white Merc for pretty cheap. And you can make some really sweet cars with that. And there's also a decal to make it look like an A-Team van. So that's very cool. I don't know what this is. Octane ZSR. It feels way different than the Octane. It feels so different. It's not even the same car. It's not even close. But it's still an A-tier car. It's a very good car. The Paladin. A Paladin's actually another really good car. It handles well. Turns good in the air. good freestyle elements to it. It's got little spikes, little feet on front of the wheels. So when you're driving, it's good for the noobs. It gives you like an indicator, like, okay, I'm gonna scoop the ball up. You got like a little forklift, and it's pretty cool for that. Again, another grog type vehicle. No clue what that is. The Zippy. The Zippy's a interesting car. If you get a little shark fin on it, a lot of people do this. They put the shark fin on top of the Zippy, then they have the spiky wheels on the side, and a lot of people rock that. But it's still D tier. It's a trash car. Roadhog, trash car. Roadhog XL, trash car again. If you got a Roadhog XL out of your crate, you were pissed because you just spent $1 to make 50 cents. You hate that car. No clue what this is. I forget what that's called. This is the Samus version car. Cool. Nobody cares. Scarab's pretty good. It's right up there in C tier. It's one of those meme cars. If you can be pretty good with a Scarab, a lot of people respect you. But again, you're just memeing. It's similar to the Gizmo, right? They're very round cars. It's just a meme if you're using that. The Takumi, the stock Takumi. This was my first car. This is the car that made me love Rocket League. I put a little tennis ball on it. On the back, I put a little tennis ball. Maybe I'll put a picture right here. During the editing, I put a little tennis ball on there, and man, I loved that car. We would queue up. I was like silver 2 at the time, and I had my little burnout boost and my little tennis ball, dude. And I remember the moment that I knew that Rocket League was fucking awesome is I had that little tennis ball and I turned going full speed and hit the ball and shot it up top 90. I'm talking perfect, beautiful top 90, like 60-mile-an-hour shot, which isn't very fast. But for a silver 2, that's pretty good. And I was like, this game's sick. This car's sick. Heck yeah. Obviously, later on, I found out that Takumi's trash, so it goes in C tier. Badge. Takumi redo, even worse than the regular. Batmobile. This is an Octane Hitbox Batmobile. Trash. D tier for sure. This one is what I call a high heel shoe. It looks like a high heel that a woman would step in. It's a shoe. Fuck this car. The Twin Mill. This car was my first purchase on Rocket League. It was my first like DLC. I thought it was a cool car. I actually got pretty good with it. I mean, it's not terrible. I do like the car. It goes C tier. This car is another Octane Hitbox vehicle, and fuck this thing. It's called a Twinzer. This means nothing to me. You can get it painted. Cool. The Venom. My buddy really liked the Venom, but it's a D tier car. I mean, it's statistically looking at it. I mean, it doesn't look that great, so it's D tier. The Vulcan. This is one of those cars that kind of has an animation. It has little wings that like come out when you fly, similar to the Back to the Future car earlier, the DeLorean that I had forgotten the name of. So that's pretty cool. It's like a jet. I do like that. So C tier. C tier's fine. This car, don't know anything about. The X-Devil, awful car. Bottom D tier. X-Devil version 2, I think. Bottom D tier. And I think this is the Zippy again. I think it's another stock car. It's just not very good. It'll go in, I don't want to put in literal shit. I'll put in nothing. Yeah. And that is the Rocket League car tier list. That's it. I figured I might as well put a Rocket League video on my channel, seeing as how my channel is Adam RL. RL standing for Rocket League. I spent a lot of time on Rocket League. I love Rocket League. And I just want good things to come to Rocket League, obviously. I think it's a great game. I think it's one of the hardest games there is. I think it's a game that can absolutely destroy friendships, and it can make friendships even stronger. It's a game of not only mental strength, but physical ability. And in my opinion, one of the first true esports, where you are actually the sport player. You are the athlete. This is one of the few games that is possible. And this game's awesome. Anywho, guys, if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like down there, hit the subscribe button, and check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv AdamRL. We do this shit live all the time. It's great. You know, whatever. Anywho, later, guys. All right, guys, that was my outro. Don't worry, we're not going nowhere.